Hello, 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 hello. How's it going, people? Welcome to the stream. Friday the 20th is upon us. And of course, tomorrow, Arsenal are facing Crystal Palace once again. This time, not in Carabao Cup, but in Premier League. And this game is also not a home game, it's an away game, which makes it, in my opinion, that much more difficult, of course. But there's some news regarding Arsenal injuries and everything. There's some news regarding Crystal Palace injuries and suspensions that kind of may forbid certain players to play, which actually favors, in a way, Arsenal, of course, in that regard. There's some transfer rumors as well going all over the place, so we're definitely gonna discuss that. Some disgusting ones, to say the least, as well, in my opinion, because we are once again, been linked to certain clubs' trash rejects. So I guess it is what it is. We're gonna look at things like that. Of course, Mikel Arteta's waffle sessions, Coneman music is gonna hit the stream at some point. We're gonna look at pre-Crystal Palace game press conference and stuff like that. And of course, we're gonna look at maybe Crystal Palace, maybe try to do a proper predicted starting 11, given the fact that what we're gonna read in the interview. So here we bloody go. Big up, Nathan. No, I'm not talking about Molero from Las Palmas. 60 million release clauses, 60 million euros. That's about what, 53 million pounds, something like that. No, I'm not talking about him. I'm talking about someone else, because he is actually one of the best players that Las Palmas has, in a way. So that isn't actually some of the club's bin rejects, in a way, as I would like to say. But there is someone, and I think actually we're gonna get into this a bit slowly, but we're gonna get into it quite a bit. So we're gonna start with, well, you know what, we're gonna start with this. We're generally gonna start with this. We're gonna start with this. Where is it? 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 Now, give me a second. I need to find this. Apparently, agreement is done for Melo. That's allegedly are true. The rumors allegedly, but that again, isn't that coming from Fikayas, which is pretty much one of the most unreliable sources in the world you can imagine, in terms of football or something like that? Isn't that the case? Isn't that the case? I think so. But we're gonna kick things off with this one. We're generally gonna kick things off with this one, and I'm very sorry if you get pissed off, because, well, we have to. We generally have to. Because today marks the day. Commitment, accountability, and passion. 5 incredible years of Mikel Arteta, and that what Arsenal Twitter channel, X channel, posted today. Commitment. Okay, cool. Accountability, not sure about that one, Chief, because whenever something goes wrong, there is no accountability. 800 million spent, no accountability. Playing injured players that need surgery, no accountability. Losing to mediocre teams on consistent basis, no accountability in terms of that. Passion, yes, we can actually do it. We can talk about passion, because there is passion of what he does. Let's be real, the way he celebrates, the way he reacts, I cannot knock that. But accountability definitely wouldn't be one of those 3 words I would put in terms of Arsenal, Cronkies, and of course in that equation putting in Mikel Arteta, of course. I'm in the Arteta penitentiary. 5 years of Mikel Arteta at Arsenal. Some would say it's been long overdue to get him gone. Some say we should get him gone right now. And to be honest, it's hard to argue against that. Let's just put it that way. But there, of course, are top gunners and everything. So we're gonna look at some tweets as well a bit. And here it is. Now Arsenal, one of the actually sources on X I kind of use for some transfer rumors, because I cannot scout everything. They kind of gather everything around in terms of Arsenal, but I use others ones as well. I may need to block this one just because of this. 5 years ago today, Mikel Arteta was announced as the Arsenal manager. 5 years on, and the club is in the best position it's been in the last decade. I'm not gonna lie, not that difficult. Second of all, you could say we are in the best position in the last decade. At the same time, in the last 5 years, we have won less trophies than Arsene Wenger won in the last 5 years of his career at Arsenal. And that was so-called washed Arsene Wenger, by the way. He won 3 trophies. Or 2, I think 2. No, 2 trophies he won. He won 2 trophies in the last 5 years. Got us top 4 consistently besides last year. So technically, it's the same thing. We are finishing top 4. And we have one trophy. So, if you speak to Arteta, we have two charity shields. That counts as trophies as well, allegedly. Surprised he doesn't count the Emirates Preseason Cup and the Dubai Cup and stuff like that. But yeah, the next and this is the big one. This is the one that got me wild up. The next 5 years are going to be even better, with Mikel Arteta being the man to lead us to major trophies. I have no doubt about that. If I speak, I might get genuinely banned on YouTube, genuinely. But yeah, first season, 8th. And he actually wasn't it wasn't after 38 games. That was his, how many seasons? 4. Yeah, second season we finished 8th. Second season we finished 5th, where we battled top 4 on very high end. We lost in Carabao Cup and FA Cup 3rd, 4th rounds. Next year we finished 2nd, 5 points off 1st, even though we were 8 points clear. Well, technically 5 because they had game in hand, but technically we were also 8 points clear. We were 8 points clear and we lost the league by 5 points. So there was a 13-point swing, which is genuinely 5-game swing in general in the league. 5-game swing we managed to ball. 5 games to lose the title. And last year, of course, we finished 2 points off first, and again we managed to ball the league, losing to teams like Fulham once and drawing against them once, against 10-man Fulham at Emirates, losing to teams like West Ham, Southampton, Everton, and teams like that in the process and everything. So this is great. And the aim for this year is being first. Well, not sure about that one, Chief, though, am I? But yeah, there are top Gooners who are expecting for Arteta to stay at least 5 more years. The next 5 years. Are you freaking dumb? How can you ask for manager 5 years in charge? Which club keeps one manager that has actually some sort of ambition to win something 5 years in charge? Especially at a top club who should be winning trophies pretty much every single freaking season. Which club keeps a manager for 5 years, gives him the second best paid manager job in the world, or third at the moment? I actually haven't checked it recently. And on top of that, you wish for him to be 5 years more. Who does that? Who seriously does that? Jake, there are top Gooners who are saying amen. There is someone who's saying waiting for a major trophy. I get that. There is someone who's saying we tried FC. That is spot on. I'm not gonna lie. Some saying he might be the one who gets us the trophies. We are tired. Here we go. I wish he does win us those trophies, else it would have been a complete waste of time and resources. And to be honest, it's true. So Eric is saying pure mediocrity. Cannot disagree with him on that as well. I can definitely aim for the first place this season, but winter reinforcements is essential. That also is an argument to be made. We need to sign some massive players in winter, in January transfer window, to actually do something here. 5 years of failures. It doesn't look like everyone's on board with 5 more years of Mikel at Arsenal. He must win us trophies. The aim, that is a good one. Like, average manager, completely agree. It's actually wild. It's genuinely wild that people put stuff like this out there. It's actually kinda mad. They sack Moyes after... Exactly! Moyes was on the fringes throughout almost whole season 2 years ago. And he managed to win a Conference League, and yet they still sacked him. Arteta wins nothing every year, and he gets a pay raise. He's one of the best paid managers in world football. He gets given nearly 800 million to spend, and he does nothing with it. It's all about the process. He spends all the money eating salt-based meat, pickpocketing his own players, buying extra lemons to squeeze the juice, buying new pooper scoopers for Win the Dog and everything. Like, seriously? Are we really on this? Really? Like, really are we on this? Come on, man. Like, seriously, come on. This is the big one. Arsenal... Yeah, to be honest, it's a massive pause. Yeah, it's a massive pause on that one. Arsenal results by wearing the third kit in the last 3 seasons. Win against Palace, win against Bournemouth, lost to Fulham, lost to Bournemouth, draw against Fulham. And apparently game against Crystal Palace will be played as well in the third kit. Now, We haven't won in the third kit for 2.5 years. 2.5 years we haven't won in our third kit. Last two were losses and a draw. We played in the third kit against Palace, allegedly. Oh, this could get very nicely. Very, very insane. Exactly, what crap is that? Just play the ball. Just play the ball. It doesn't matter what kit you're wearing. Who cares? Like, seriously. Might as well pick, I don't know, a yellow police jacket and play football if it fits, and just play and win the game. Why does it matter in what kit you play and which has been your most successful kit? Because at the end of the day, the kit in which you win the trophies will be memorized forever. We all know the burgundy O2 shirt, the yellow Sega shirt from olden days with Henry or Ian Wright on it, wearing it and everything. We know those kits. These kits, nobody cares. One looks like a deodorant or something like that. One looks like vomit, like electricity, electric green vomit. I don't know. One looks almost like Man City shirt, this one. Like, what are we doing here? Like, genuinely, what are we doing here? Who cares what shirt we playing? If you win in that shirt a title, that shirt is memorized forever, because that was the shirt you were wearing when you won the title. Otherwise, it's just more PR, more money for Cronkies and the club, and that's it. What crap is that? Exactly, just play it. Who cares? Okay, this is now a bit more regarding the Crystal Palace game. Apparently, Oliver Glasner, in the interview before the game, before tomorrow's game against Arsenal, has confirmed that Eberechi Eze is out to face Arsenal. Which is actually a good thing, because Eze at home is quite annoying player to play against. To be honest, when we played against him at Emirates, he didn't do much in the time while he was on. He actually didn't do much. Arguably, the fact that when Glasner subbed off Eze and Mateta, they kind of threw the game a bit away, because those were two that actually were the most dangerous for Arsenal, together with Sarr, of course. Those three were the most dangerous ones that created some panic in Arsenal's defense at the time, with Kivior and Timber and everyone those at the back. And Arsenal actually switched up, subbed on Saliba, subbed on some proper starter players, and they took off Mateta, which is obviously could be either in preparation for the game at Selhurst Park tomorrow, or what, I don't know, but as they're not playing tomorrow, obviously it's more good than bad for Arsenal. It's definitely an advantage in that regard. Yeah, and that, the Carabao Cup draw, where we are playing Newcastle over 2 legs, arguably the worst possible draw we could have gotten, if you ask me. Because United is United. It depends what happens. It genuinely depends. Anything can happen, but United at the moment are still figuring things out, so we could have done good against them. Spurs are Spurs. You never know what kind of Spurs will turn up, but Spurs recently have been our clients. It's the 3-point lane, no matter how you look at it. So, and we usually win at home and do well against them at home especially. So that also could have been an easy win. When we look at Newcastle, it's a bit of a hit and miss, isn't it? Because in the recent times, we have lost to them 1-0 both 2 times at St. James. We beat them 4-1 at home, obviously, last season. It was a draw as well 2 years ago, 0-0 draw. So it hasn't been that rosy against Newcastle. In my opinion, for Arsenal, that is the worst possible draw. And that will be very interesting to see what kind of answers Arsenal find to actually deal with them, because that definitely will be those two will be games where we will leave out a lot of energy, a lot of emotions, and a lot of stamina, and Arsenal will struggle against that in further games. When are these games, by the way, being played? Arsenal schedule. When are these games against Newcastle kind of maybe squeezed in this schedule? Arsenal Newcastle. Arsenal versus Newcastle. It's not confirmed yet. This is a league game. This is a league game at home in the pre. It's not confirmed yet, is it? We play. It's the FA Cup. Yeah, it's not confirmed yet, I guess. 6th and wait. 6th and 22nd. That is January, right? 6th and 22nd of Jan. It cannot be 22nd. We play in Champions League then. On January 22nd, we play against against Dinamo Zagreb. It cannot be the 22nd. And on the 6th one, that could be. On the 6th one, it could be, because after Brighton game, there is international break. Maybe could that be the case? 8-day break. No, it's not even international break. I'm waffling here. But it cannot be either of those, kinda. It could be the 6th between Brighton and United. So we're gonna play Brighton, then we're gonna play a Carabao Cup and FA Cup. But 22nd for us is a Champions League game. So I'm not sure we're gonna play them on 22nd of January. Because the week after we have another Champions League game. That's the last Champions League game. So the game against Newcastle, the other one, will be kind of squeezed in somewhere where we really, really, really don't want to. It looks that way, at least. It really looks that way. Because the time when we can play actually Newcastle, based on these 4th, 12th, maybe between Brighton and that will be the 6th, Brighton and United, and the next one, technically only possibility is, well, it isn't, because due to Champions League we play every 3 days, so there actually is no time when we can play them. After Man City game there is a 13-game break when it's, I assume, international break or something like that. Maybe we can play them then. That is the only gap in the next month or month and a half when we can actually play them. Unless some Premier League game gets postponed. But that means also your Newcastle's game has to be postponed. So it's still up in the air, and that is also needs to be decided, I guess. That generally still needs to be decided in that regard. So it's not that rosy. It's generally not that rosy. We need to win our home game by 3 goals or it's over. Yeah, to be honest, against Newcastle, we need to smash them at home. That is one of the big things. And to be honest, I much rather play the first game away and the second game at home, so we know what it's all about. So I'm one of those people who prefers to play the first game away, so we know what it's all about, and the second game is in our hands, and so we'll see what happens there. But whenever it's gonna happen, it's actually kind of mad. It's gonna be kind of annoying and kind of mad. Because no matter what, our schedule already is so jam-packed, we have no place to squeeze them in, like in logical place. So we will definitely have to rotate and maybe cancel some games during the weekend. Newcastle and Arsenal, both of them. But yeah, Leicester has confirmed that Eberechi Eze is out, so that is arguably a good thing for Arsenal in general. So, let's move to some Cone Man music. Cone Man music. Pre-Crystal Palace game presser. Sorry, the first game is the week of the 6th of January. Second game is first week of February. Wait. So January 6th is between United and Brighton. That I get. I generally can see that. And the second game is first week of February. First week of February. Yeah. After Man City game, there's a 13-day break. So that genuinely could be the case where Arsenal play against Newcastle. Those are the only options, like realistic ones. Because, look, if we even play them on the 6th, right? We pretty much play every 3rd day. We play Brighton, then we play Newcastle, then it's United, then it's Spurs 3 days later. 3 days later, there's Villa. 4 days later, there's Dinamo Zagreb. 3 days later, there's Wolves. 4 days later, there's Girona. And again, 3 days later, 4 days later, we play against Man City. So, and then there is a nearly 2-week break between City and Leicester game. So this space between City and Leicester games, the only place where we actually could play them. That is the only realistic place where we could actually kind of squeeze in that game. So kind of that makes a bit of a sense, I'm not gonna lie. In that regard, that makes a lot of sense if you ask me. But anyways, it's time for some Cone Man music. Cone Man music. Mikel Arteta held his second pre-Crystal Palace press conference of the week. So that will be very, very interesting what's gonna happen there, what he's gonna say. And hopefully there are some news, some improvements, because I haven't seen the interview. I haven't actually read it, so that will be very interesting, because this will be a live reaction as well. So, I'm very sorry, very, very, very sorry. Declan Rice and Ricardo Calafiori, they're both available to be in the squad. So we already have gotten some good news that Ricardo Calafiori and Declan Rice both are fit and will be ready to play. Well, if there's any update on any other updates, Zinchenko could probably be available as well. Tomiyasu won't be. Tomiyasu is pretty much not playing for Arsenal this season. That's how it looks like based on his injuries and everything. On Gabriel Jesus having a good week. Yo, 2 days ago you asked this question already. Maybe it's time to stop. Like maybe it's time to stop. Well, he was very happy. Everybody in the team was really happy, especially because he helped the team to win the game and get through to the semifinals, which is what we wanted. You can see that immediate reaction of him, a big smile on his face, big energy around him, and that's what we need to have everybody in the highest level of performance. Gabi certainly had a big one on Wednesday. Sounds a bit tough, but yeah. Yeah, Tomiyasu is never fit, exactly. He's never fit. Genuinely never. If he can go on a good run, yes, he's been looking really good since he came back from preseason after he had a setback and he started to play. He had some good performances without scoring. Obviously, what he did the other day is exactly what we need from our nines. Well, no shit, Sherlock. We need strikers, we need to score goals. If you don't provide that, you might as well get sold instantly. Genuinely. Your defense is in trouble with when Jesus is in the room. Pretty much. On Kieran Tierney, at the moment, he's here with us. I wouldn't play a player that is thinking about leaving or is not committed to us, so he's fully committed. He's enjoying after a long period again with a really tough injury, so live the moment. Okay. He's a big part of the squad. No, he deserves to be in the squad and played really well after such a long time, so that's the only thing I can say. Well, yada yada yada. On if he wants to move in January, he hasn't come to me and said I want to move. In the past, if we have any doubts, he came to me and said I think it's time to move, and this hasn't been the case yet. That is actually somewhat promising. Obviously, he also won't be coming out in an interview and saying, well, hey, Tierney said I want to go away. You're pissing me off. I hate you. He's not also going to say that, so it also depends. Tierney will cook the place tomorrow. It depends whether he will play or not. It also depends. It's not confirmed. It's just a rumor, and it's also not for January, apparently. It's also for summer. But it's coming from Fikaya, so it's genuinely like a 50-50 shot. Fikaya is like some sport, pretty much, it feels like. They're very untrustworthy in that regard. On his 5-year anniversary as our manager, that I've really enjoyed it. That's gone really fast. I'm really grateful to be in the position that I'm in right now. You would be 15 million a year. Who wouldn't be happy getting 15 million a year, huh? And what I have a lot to learn, a lot to improve, and the best is yet to come. Well, you better deliver trophy this year, man. On aiming for major silverware, this is what we want, to bring the big trophies and without losing the rest of the things that we have built. That's very important as well. On having to play the same team twice in 1 week. The preparation is different. Obviously, we played recently and analyzed them, so we don't have to do that too much. Well, that already sounds a bit boring if you don't have to analyze them once again too much, because you never know what they had gonna do. Obviously, it's very hard to change tactics completely in 3 days, but it's really easy to kind of tweak them in certain aspects, so maybe try to throw a curveball in there. Especially when you play away, it's gonna be very tough. I'm sure that both teams will adjust a few things and probably change some personnel as well. Apart from that, the difficulty of the game remains the same. We know what it's like to go to Selhurst Park, and we have prepared for that. Well, that's actually good news. If you are prepared for that, you better deliver 3 points and everything. None of this, oh, we tried and get a draw or lose even. So, yeah, you better deliver. That's all I'm saying. You better freaking deliver. On if Jesus and Havertz can play together up top, yeah, that's possible. With the players that we have and the connection that we can generate, I think it's very doable to have that kind of situation. And as I said before, I'm really pleased for Gabi's performance, for the team's performance, and most importantly, for the fact that we are in the semifinals. Yeah, playing Newcastle in semifinals is not that great, but in general, that is great. On what's changed at the club during his 5 years in charge, I don't know. From my point of view, the unity, the connection, and the fact that we are competing on big fronts right now. We haven't managed to do that in past few years. That's positive, but there's still a lot to do. Well, keep shoveling. On the Carabao Cup semi-final draw against Newcastle, let's play them. It will be 2 very difficult games. We know that the 4 teams that are involved in the semi-finals are at the highest level. So we knew that whoever we got in the draw, it will be the difficult was going to be there. Well, Newcastle away, Newcastle in general, in my opinion, for Arsenal, was the toughest matchup they could have gotten. United and Liverpool, well, it is what it is, I guess, at the end of the day. Spurs and Liverpool, sorry. Spurs and Liverpool would be quite easily. We actually could have played against them like properly. Newcastle, not so much. Newcastle has a blueprint how to genuinely shut us down, especially at St. James Park. So it will be a hell of a matchup. Generally, hell of a matchup. It won't be the most exciting game for a viewer or a neutral, but it will be a very rough one. On how London Derby is different to other games, well, the travel is easier. Yeah, that answers. How hard is the London Derby? Well, it's easy to travel. Yeah, cool. Sounds logical. The range of teams you can play is very, very different. It's unique in such a city that we have that many Premier League clubs. But so far it's been good. So hopefully tomorrow we can win it and put ourselves in great position again. Well, Fulham wasn't the case, was it, last year? And if it's harder to play more derby games, no, I don't see it that way. When you look at the calendar from the Premier League straight away, and you realize that every opponent is difficult, and every time you travel it's difficult, and that it's special and kiss my ass, genuinely. The waffle of it's special. Like, I don't give a damn. Like, seriously, genuinely don't give a rat's ass. It's special. Don't care. Win a game for a change. On how he still looks as young as he did. On how he still looks as young as he did 5 years ago. Who the fuck asked this question? Who asked this question? Honesty. Someone tell me. Who on earth asked this question? How on earth are you looking still as young as you did 5 years ago? Who the hell cares? How does that relate to Crystal Palace game? Who the hell asked that question? I really want to know right now. Who the hell asked that question? That journalist should be sacked on the spot. Right here, right now, no questions asked. Like, what the hell am I reading right now? Have you aged? How does he still look as young as he did 5 years ago? What the hell is this? I'm not even gonna read that. I don't give a rat's ass. I'm genuinely not even reading that. On how much his connection with the club, because obviously those things take time. Obviously there was a connection there because I was a player here. I was a captain here. Well, not for much, but it is what it is. And I knew for a lot of people at the club that was very helpful. Blah blah blah. On if he could ever manage another Premier League club, how does this relate to game against Crystal Palace? Like how? Like, serious question. How does this relate to Crystal Palace game? Are these journalists so incompetent and scared that they're not gonna get their VIP boxes, free passes, their teas and biscuits and everything, or shake the hands with Mikel Arteta just because they ask proper questions? Like, how pathetic is that? On if there was one decision to make in the last 5 years that was important. On if there was one decision to make in the last 5 years that was important. Am I stupid? Or does this question make zero sense? On if there was one decision to make in the last 5 years that was most important. There isn't most important anything. Every single decision is important. All of them. Most important decision for Kroenke is to sack this manager. Good question. First of all, I don't make decisions by myself and blah blah blah. What I would say is that I haven't regretted decisions. He has no regrets. He genuinely has zero regrets on making his decisions. So he has no regrets in signing Kivior, Willian, Havertz. No regrets in that. No regrets in wasting half of the money just signing defenders and mediocre midfielders and anything. No regrets how he treated Guendouzi. No regrets how he treated Aubameyang. No regrets on anything whatsoever. No regrets. Seriously? How he treated Emil Smith-Rowe. Ramsdale. No regrets. Like, what the hell is that about? He has no regrets whatsoever. We have made them with a lot of analysis and with a very thoughtful process with a lot of people. Some right and many wrong, unfortunately. Yeah, many wrong. And that sums it pretty much. Arteta gets some decisions right, but most of them gets wrong. At least this part is fair on this answer. Here is actually some truth for a change. Oh, here we go. Marlon, here's your answer. Here, where is it? Arsenal are interested in Rashford. On Marcus Rashford's situation, you know I'm not going to talk about players from other clubs. Last time he said that, we signed Kai Havertz. Last time we said that, we signed Kai Havertz. Well, he has said the same thing about Calafiori and Merino, but that was mid-transfer window when there were bids going in. Currently, there's just speculations. And last time something like that was about Kai Havertz, and he said the exact same thing. 1-2 weeks later, all of a sudden Kai Havertz is at Arsenal. Oh, bloody hell if we signed Marcus Rashford. And if he can imagine himself being here for another 5 years. No, I think you have to live the present in this job, you know, and obviously you have to plan for what's coming in the mid and long term. The energy has to be in the moment and paying attention to every detail, understanding how things are working, putting more processing in place to make better decisions. I always have to take aim to keep everybody on his feet to get the best out of them and make sure they feel part of what we do. Blah, 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 blah. Not looking too great, is it? On areas he'd like to be better in as coach. In all of them. Well, to be honest, that's an honest answer. He needs to get better as a coach in all of the aspects as a coach. On Jurriën Timber adapting to different roles. He's doing that because, first of all, it's in his nature. He's capable of doing it. He feels very comfortable doing it, and we try to coach him to play to his strengths and mold, oh, holy crap, that's a different word for a change, and mold the qualities around him with other players as well. I'm very pleased because I think he's been performing really well. Well, you cannot sit here with straight face and tell me that he has been playing really well at left back and as good as at right back. Because at right back he plays much better than he plays as a left back. Like, seriously. Like, what are we doing here? Like, what are we doing here? Like, that makes zero sense. Genuinely makes zero sense. Where's that stupid ass question? Carabao, what changed? Kai Havertz, Jesus, 5-year university in London. It's harder to play in more derby against Youthnet Spurs. This stupid ass thing. And here is the one. Here is the one. We're gonna get to it in a second. Dewsbury-Hall can play CMC and Cam, right? He made. I don't know. I strongly believe Molero is not the answer, first of all. And Dewsbury-Hall also is not the answer. Second of all. Thierry Henry's roasting our... Exactly! I saw that. He was roasting Arteta, Martinelli, Havertz, Saka. Not Saka. Saka did everything right. He was roasting Havertz in that instance. And Arteta and tactics, how we play. Like... And the maddest part of all of this is that the top Gunners say Thierry Henry is jealous of Arteta's coaching career. I genuinely, one of the stupidest things in the world I have ever heard. Genuinely, one of the stupidest things I have ever heard in my life. Nah, I misspoke. Shush. He wasn't roasting Saka, he was roasting Havertz in terms of what Saka was doing when Saka got past 3 defenders and Havertz was pulling back, not driving into the box. Misspoke, my bad. But yeah, top Gunners are saying that Thierry Henry is jealous of Arteta and the way he's coaching. He dreams to be as good of a coach as he is. Like, the stupidity and delusion of some of these top Gunners, Arteta OnlyFans, Arteta sexuals and everything is unmatched these days. It's genuinely wild. Our team is so predictable, we need to... And we are predictable, and that is the worst thing in everything. Okay, here it is. We are linked with another Chelsea reject. Fun times for Arsenal, once again. And that is Dewsbury-Hall. Dewsbury-Hall. That is the guy we have been linked with. Now, the question is, would you take Dewsbury-Hall at Arsenal? And now, don't do this because of desperation of players that we need in midfield or on the attack or defense. Do it strategically. Does Dewsbury-Hall improve our midfield? Would signing him make Arsenal better? If a team like Chelsea, who is still in phase 1 with Maresca, are binning him, and they just signed Dewsbury-Hall, you could say pretty much, from Leicester City, would he be good? Would he be good enough for Arsenal? Yeah, and really spinning facts, our attack and how we play, defend is so predictable. Everyone has sorted out how we play, and it's a disgrace, bro. If everyone know how we defend and attack, exactly, that is the case. Everyone knows what we're gonna do in the attack. Everyone knows what we're gonna do in the defense. Everyone knows what we're gonna do in the corners. Yes, sometimes we may luck out and we may score and have dangerous chance, but most of the time we get shut down completely, and that's about it. Yeah, see, he can be good. He can play, 8, 6, and 10 basically. 6, 8, 10, you say. He can be good. But will he be good? That is the big thing, because Dewsbury-Hall was fantastic at Leicester. Not gonna lie, he was fantastic there. Chelsea signed him, and he pretty much hasn't kicked ball for them, what it feels like. Because whenever Chelsea play, I never hear anyone say anything about Dewsbury-Hall. They signed him for about, what, 50 million? Something like that. 35 million. And they signed him last summer. Last summer. He has played 5 games in Premier League that accumulates together to 55 minutes. He plays predominantly in Conference League, 2 goals, 1 assist. And that's about it. In Premier League, in 5 games, he has played 55 minutes. 11 minutes on average per game. And Chelsea, since they just signed him, his contract runs out in 2029. In 5 years, 100% would demand for him about 40 to 50 million. 40 to 50 million, that is my estimated guess, what they would demand for him. And I'm saying this right now, I don't want to see him near Arsenal. I genuinely don't want to see him near Arsenal. I'm sick of tired signing Chelsea, Man City, and other teams' rejects, first of all. Second of all, if he's not getting kick in a Chelsea team, although Chelsea have about 50 players and they need to rotate all the time, he plays generally predominantly in Conference League, but overall, if he doesn't get a kick for Chelsea, who are still in a rebuild, mid-rebuild by the way, how we will get a kick in Arsenal? Where? Instead of Merino, no chance. Merino is Arteta's baby. Merino is like Arteta's long-lost son. He's not going to play instead of Odegaard. He's not going to play instead of Partey. He's not going to play instead of Rice. He's not going to play instead of Jorginho. There's no chance in hell. Like, I just don't get it. Why Arsenal would be linked with him. I just don't see it. Why? I heard he play... Yeah, that's the thing. Moleiro predominantly is a left wing. He's played as a number 10 2 or 3 games at best this season, or overall. He hasn't played much at right wing. He also plays quite limited time. He predominantly plays left wing. And 60 million seems quite exuberant amount of money. 60 million euros, like 50 something million pounds. Seems quite a big lump of money to throw away just like that. Seems way too much. Especially that he's not even performing for Las Palmas properly. If he was performing for Las Palmas, I actually would get it. But he's not. That is the big thing, Alberto Moleiro. 21 years young, valued at 20 million, his release clause are 60 million, so we will have to play 60 million. 17 games in in La Liga, 4 goals only scored. In Copa del Rey, no minutes. He starts almost every single game for Las Palmas, and he's done nothing. He genuinely has done nothing. That is the big thing. He's been actually at Las Palmas' big team for the longest period of time, actually. That is also the big thing. Overall balance. See? He's played in La Liga 2 when Las Palmas were in La Liga 2 quite a bit. And in 2 seasons, he has 3 goals, 9 assists. In 3 seasons. In 2 seasons, sorry. In 1.5 seasons almost, in La Liga, he has 7 goals and 3 assists. In 1.5 seasons. Does that scream a left wing who will cook at Arsenal? Does that scream that this player is mature and ready enough to step in one of the biggest leagues in the world, in one of the biggest clubs in the world, I just said top 15, top 20 club in the world, and carry them over the line. Does that scream that? Because for me it doesn't. It genuinely doesn't. And paying 60 million for this guy seems hella a lot and way too overpriced. Great speed and he's creative. He can make our attack unique. And I much rather sign Alex Baena. I genuinely much rather sign Alex Baena from Villarreal. Much rather sign Alex Baena from Villarreal. From what I'm seeing, Robo, we are signing Rashford. Where did you see it? Where did you see it? Is it like confirmed signing or is it just rumored links? Because I have seen these rumored links of Arsenal trying to sign Rashford, and if it comes to tuition, I will be hella pissed off. Genuinely, I will be pissed off. Okay. Let's quickly do the starting 11 for the game against Crystal Palace. So to my knowledge, we most likely are gonna play our best 11, right? That should be the case. Because we rested 9 players technically, and we should be able to play most of our best players. Now for left wing though, I'm gonna put Kieran Tierney because I think he deserves to start. Now, most likely, and I don't want to put too much emphasis on this, I think since Arteta said that Partey can play, Rice can play, Calafiori also can play, there is a possibility that at left back we will start Calafiori. Let's just put it that. Let's just let that sink in. The thing is though, given the amount of the striker is the biggest thing for me. If we actually think about this, left back and the striker are two of the question marks. Because Jesus just scored a hat-trick. So putting in Havertz would be a bit of a kind of working very in a bit disingenuous way towards Jesus. Because Jesus, since he scored a hat-trick, must start. He genuinely must start. So predicting the starting 11 would be hella hard. So I'm gonna go with player that's in form, because I need to see players that are in form play a bit more. And I think this will be the starting 11. See, Partey, Ranieri, Odegaard. This is the reason why I'm not starting Ranieri. It looks like Arteta is categorically against playing Ranieri and Odegaard in the same squad. He either puts one or the other. He subs one for the other. He never plays both of them together. Even though it makes a lot of sense putting Odegaard as a left 8, playing Ranieri as a right 10, and then you have a left 10 of Odegaard and right 10 with Ranieri once we commit our players forward. But overall, it doesn't look like Arteta sees him playing that way. If you recall, before the Crystal Palace game in Carabao Cup, Arteta was speaking about the fact that he might be Ranieri could become a striker. He could become a striker, so there's also that to take into reconsideration as well. That also could be the case. The only club I see coming close to signing Rashford is us, and be linked. He's been linked with some Saudi teams, but I don't think he will do that, because if he goes to Saudi, that basically puts a big red cross across his chances of playing for national team. Left back Tierney, is he okay to play? Tierney is okay. It was a cramp why he got subbed off. He's actually not injured. It was just cramp and precaution. Calafiori is ready. Arteta confirmed that in the press conference. Arteta said that, where is it? See, on Declan Rice and Ricardo Calafiori, they're both available to be in the squad. So there's a possibility that we may see actually Calafiori start. But the fact that Tierney got a cramp, he needs some game time, I much rather start Kieran Tierney. The way he played, it was phenomenal. I need for him to play, because that he made our attack much more fluid and much more dangerous. And I want that more. I want genuinely that more. And I don't want to see Timber as a left back or Partey as a right back. If I see that, I might flip some shit around. I'm not gonna lie. Put Martinelli on the bench, put Sterling or Trossard there or Ranieri. Trossard started during the week, right? So I think most likely Martinelli is gonna start during the week. Yeah, at the moment. I genuinely believe he's gonna start solely because Trossard started on the weekend. During the week. Fuck's sake, I'm messing them around. Trossard started during the week, so I think Martinelli is gonna start over the weekend. That is how I see this happening. For me, I think this or Calafiori instead of Tierney could be the only change, but I can see this being the starting 11 for the weekend, for tomorrow's game. I generally can see this. I'm going for 3-1 Arsenal win. Yes, I know it sounds very crazy to put it 3-1 Arsenal win in terms of the fact that we just we won against them 3-2 at home. But Arsenal were heavily rotating. Crystal Palace also were rotating, but not to such an extent. Not to such an extent. So my hope and that estimation is that Arsenal actually will do good. They actually will do good. So, and hope at least, definitely. So I'm going 3-1 Arsenal for this game. Yes, Tierney, he's my... Timbra, try back. He plays better, we'll see. He plays... Exactly. Arteta needs to realize that he cannot ship these players around like they're, I don't know, like they're like something made of clay. He cannot mold them into different position. You have had the blueprint to see that Timber is the best playing right back. Partey is the best playing as a 6, not as right back. You have had this blueprint for years now, pretty much. On Partey specifically, not Timber, of course. But you have had blueprint when Timber plays right back that he's amazing there. So why to switch all that around is genuinely beyond me. It makes 0 sense. Genuinely makes 0 sense. Yeah, exactly. That is the case. That is what I want in these performances. I want us to have cool, calm, and composed win. It won't happen though, will it? It will be again struggle, it will be nitty-gritty, and everything, let's be real. Especially since the game is going to be at Selhurst Park, we don't do very well there overall. We tend to struggle. The 2-0 win when Saka scored, and then there was own goal by Gehi, then we win due to a penalty and everything. We don't have easy time there, let's be real. Yeah, of course, they won't have Eze. They won't have Olise, of course, since he left to Bayern Munich this summer. But overall, they still have a good backline. Glasner will have something in his pocket, special prepared. I can pretty much guarantee you for that. Sarr is going to play 100%. Mateta is going to start. Maybe Crystal Palace will switch to 4-4-2 with Mateta and Nketiah both up top, with Sarr being the right mid, Lerma and Hughes playing the 2 midfielders, and on the left side they will put the other guy, I forgot his name on top of my head, but he might switch to 4-4-2 and play mid-low block that will completely nullify Arsenal's 4-3-3 and everything. There definitely will be something. There definitely will be something for that. No struggling to pass the ball, no slipping up in defense again, just calm. Yeah, that's the thing. What Arsenal needs to do is to score a quick goal, because that will resolve about 60%, 70% of issues Arsenal have during every single game. Because if we don't score in the first 10-15 minutes, the game tends to drag out super long, and it's very nervous throughout the whole game, unless we score somewhat quickly. If Arsenal can score a quick goal like we tend to do 2 years ago in 22-23 season, we tend to also score a quick second goal. And that barely discourages the other team, and it puts the game nearly to bed, and we score the third and game is done and dusted. And you don't see that anymore from Arsenal, do you? We saw that against Sporting Lisbon. We scored a quick goal with Timber first time cross to Martinelli and everything. But overall, since 22-23 season, we don't see Arsenal as often scoring early goals and putting games to bed very early. We see it very rarely when Arsenal are 3-4-0 up at halftime. We saw that last year against West Ham, this year against West Ham, although this year against West Ham was a bit different, but it is what it is. We don't see that as often, and I think we are paying the price for that long term. Because the longer it stays 0-0, 1-1, to 1-0 even to some extent, it gives the other team a hope that they can get back in it. One bounce, one corner, one deflection, it's instantly a completely different game, especially since we play away. Home crowd factor needs to be included, the emotional lift needs to be included, and I'm expecting another very rough and tough game. Am I expecting an easier game than we had at Emirates? No, I'm not. Even though we rotated about 7 or 8 players, in the game at home, and we then subbed on some of our best players to win the game, I'm still expecting, for the fact that we played this game away, it to be as tough as it was at home. That is the big thing for me. It's basically, if we played this game at home as well, and we would play our best team, I wouldn't have as big of a worry. Currently, I have worries. Because despite the fact that we will have the best players, we are playing away. Matsetsa has scored, Edin Ketsia has scored. Yes, there will be no Eze, but I think Glasner will figure something out. I already can imagine to some extent, maybe Glasner again, as I said, plays 4-4-2, Eddie Matsetsa up top together, or Matsetsa Eduard. Then he puts Sar as a right mid, Hughes and Lerma as two midfielders, Munoz, Gehi. He plays, and then on the left side he plays the players. I can see that. I genuinely can see that as well. He played 3 at the back, if I'm not mistaken, over the weekend. Oh, during the week, sorry. So over the weekend I can see something different. I want some good defending. No, exactly. You want some good defending. Obviously, Kivior is not going to start, so you definitely can get it. You will get it, because there will be no Kivior. Saliba Gabriel will be the partnership for tomorrow, so that is pretty much as solid as it gets, let's be real. Yeah, Jesus, if Jesus scores also in this game, it could actually help him to pick up some momentum and carry over the line for the next few games. Because the next few games also, they're going to come quick. This is the last game before Christmas, of course. We play against Crystal Palace tomorrow, and then on the 27th we play at home against Ipswich Town. That's a must-win game. Generally, that's a must-win game, so I'm not sure. I can guarantee you, for example, that I'm not going to stream during holidays. I won't stream on 24th. I most likely will stream on 25th or 26th. I'm not sure yet. On the 27th, there might be a preview. However, for example, on January, I won't stream. On the 31st, 1st, and 2nd of January, I'm out of town. So I won't be streaming, for example. So there will be no preview for a Brentford game, no reaction and everything as well. After that, everything goes back to normal. But overall, yeah, I'm expecting a tough game. I'm saying it's going to be 3-1 Arsenal. I think we're going to concede again, which is kind of pains me to say. But overall, I think Arsenal will be, again, a tough game. But Arsenal will be more solid defensively due to the fact that we will have our proper back line. Because we won't have these Timber, Kivior, Serback pairing. We won't have Partey as a right back and stuff like that. We actually will have our main players. So hopefully that is going to kind of make us more solid defensively and actually will help us going forward. I still can't believe Sterling missed those chances Wednesday. He was actually playing. That's the thing. Sterling used to score those chances every single game when KDB, Kevin De Bruyne, put that on the silver platter for him when he was at City. Now Tierney does that. First shot at the keeper, good save by Henderson, then the net is fully open. What he does hits the bar. Like, again, that cannot fly. He says we're gonna see the best of him, and if this is the best of him, I don't want to see him anymore. Let's be real. That is the thing. I know the game is going to be tough, but I have faith in the team. If Partey doesn't play right back, of course, Arteta doesn't play Timber as a left back as well to some extent, we have good chance scoring. We do. We genuinely do. Because we will use our main team. I think it's going to be most advantageous for us in that regard. We'll see what happens. We saw what impact our best players made when they came on, of course. So there is hope that we could produce some proper performances. Whether it's going to happen or not obviously remains to be seen. Because, let's be real, we were saying the same goddamn thing before Everton game. And remember, that game was at home, by the way, at the Emirates. We were saying, oh, I'm expecting a tough game, but I have faith in the team. I was saying it's going to be 3-1 Arsenal. I saw someone saying 4-0, 2-0, 3-1 and stuff like that. In the end, it was a 0-0 draw, and Arsenal almost did nothing during that game. That is a big worry for me. Genuinely, that is a big, big, big worry for me in that regard, of course. But still, the big news is that Eberechi Eze is also face, of course, Arsenal tomorrow. That is a big thing. Genuinely big thing. Where is Crystal Palace? Crystal Palace. Premier League. Let's check this quickly. Uh, transfer rumors, fixtures, squad. Where are the injuries? I need some injuries. Squad members, squad. Club, stadium, history, news, form. I need some injury reports on this. Fixtures, squad, suspension and injuries. There it is. Suspension and injuries. Obviously, Franca is out. Riyad is out, and of course, Eberecheza is missing the game. So they have pretty much every single player they can have is available. Yeah. No, lol. Part Lithuanian, that's kind of wild. They have Chalaba. Is it a full transfer or loan? On loan. Oh, I see. Yeah, but besides that, they have their best players. Daichi Kamada signed. That was nice. Ismail Sarr signed as well. Sarr was pretty decent against us, I'm not gonna lie. Top rivals. It's 30 million for Nketiah. Holy crap. Lol. Anyways. Anyhow. I strongly believe that it will be very interesting to see what we do. What we genuinely do. It will be very, very interesting. But I can see, for example, they playing 4-4-2, for example. I can see Palace playing 4-4-2 like Dean Henderson, Lacroix, Gehi center backs, Mitchell and Munoz as wing backs, double pivot midfield of Doucouré and Hughes, or Lerma and Hughes, or Lerma and Doucouré, for example, or Vartan and Lerma, something like that. Schlupp as a left mid, and Sarr as a right mid, two strikers with Nketiah and Matsetsa, or Kamada and Matsetsa, something like that. I can see Glasner shifting away from 3 at the back, but to like 5 to 4-4-2 to 2 at the 4 at the back. Fucking hell, I can't speak. I can see that happening as well to some extent. Partey, he will never be He's not a right back. That is ultimately it. Partey is not a right back. He doesn't have the mobility. He doesn't have. Oh, for fuck's sake. He doesn't have mobility, he doesn't have agility, he doesn't have the pace to be a right back. It just doesn't cut him there. Right position, they play well and have big reach. Exactly! And that's what's annoying with all of this. Because we've seen Timber play as a right back, and he's fantastic there, to say the least. We've seen Timber play as a left back, and he has had very up and down performances there. We've seen Partey playing as a 6, arguably the best midfielder we've had this season, performance-wise. And then we have seen him as a right back. He has had few decent performances, but overall, it's just not it. We just know that it's not it, and it's not gonna work, and it's never gonna work. So what the hell are we doing here at the end of the day? Like, wake up, Arteta, and smell the coffee, you know? That's what's a big of a worry. If we play a one-touch cross football, we can score more goals. It makes fullbacks. That's the thing. We need to learn to cross early. First time cross, because then defenders cannot set up. They cannot set up. They cannot be prepared for instances that's going to come. And that's what Tierney did for Raheem Sterling goal. You saw that nobody was covering Raheem Sterling. We saw that. That cross by Tierney was phenomenal. Obviously, Sterling just wasted everything you could have wasted there. More ways than Junkyard and everything, of course. But we saw Timber as well when we scored the first goal against Sporting Lisbon. First time cross from a corner. First time cross. And it goes straight to Martinelli. Havertz also could have gone to ball. There was a foul arguably there. That is the big thing. We need to try to do the unexpected. And obviously Arteta has instructed our team to play very safe, pragmatic and predictable football. And to some extent, I strongly believe that's one of the reasons why we are who we are at the moment. Why we are where we are. Why we are drawing games against Everton. Why we're losing against Bournemouth. We cannot create at times. We don't score and we cannot create from open play at times. That's why. Genuinely, that is why. Ultimately. It won't kill Arteta to score 5 goals when you play the ball in the box. And yeah, it wouldn't. But apparently he doesn't want that. He wants to play the perfect goal into empty net. And that's what's the most annoying part in all of this. Let's be real. But hey, I guess it is what it is at the end of the day. Until he goes, we have to live with this. We have to live with this. We can criticize it. We can talk about it. But ultimately, it's gonna, at the end of the day, cause us more pain than do good. So it's just a shame at the end of the day. So What can we do? Anyways, anything new in terms of Arsenal? Manchester United have now been provided around 9,000 tickets for the FA Cup clash against the Emirates. Blocks 20 to 32 have all been given to the travelling fans of the Red Devils. Yeah, if you missed this about a week ago, Man United reported Arsenal to the FA due to Gunners' failure to provide the correct ticket allocation amount. United are entitled to 9,000. Arsenal offered under 8,000 due to safety concerns. And they put us to the trial to the FA, and FA obviously approved it. That is the big thing here. But yeah, I guess it is what it is. Mikel Arteta on Carabao Cup, let's play them, blah blah blah. So nothing new in that regard. Anything else here? Havertz, anything? Wait, let's check this. Arsenal and Rashford, is there anything? Is there any news? 9 hours ago, Marcus Rashford possible transfer to Arsenal could be blocked by one thing. Wouldn't be against that, would you? Arteta responds to Marcus Rashford transfer linked to Arsenal. He said that he doesn't speak about players who are not at the club. He's said that before, by the way, just before we signed Kai Havertz. Arsenal eyeing Rashford move. A strategic bet for the season ahead. Holy crap. Who said this? Who needs sacking? I would love to see Marcus Rashford at Arsenal, claims former Arsenal star. Which dumbass said it? The 27-year-old is one of United's highest earners, and any move would likely represent significant outlay. But ex-Arsenal defender Bakary Sagna has admitted that he would love his old side to sign Rashford. I would love to see Rashford at Arsenal. I think if you added Rashford to Arsenal's attack with the pace that he has, Arsenal would destroy the opposition. Adding Rashford to an extremely talented squad would be a frightening prospect for Arsenal's rivals. Oh my goodness gracious. I just... Did I just really read this? Bakary Sagna is endorsing Arsenal to sign Marcus Rashford. Seriously. Like, are you serious? How would you think Martinelli performed with Tierney at left back? They played together. That's the thing. Martinelli would overlap, would open up spaces for Tierney would overlap, open spaces up for Martinelli and everything. I think that would work well. If we sign Rashford, oh dude, don't even put that in the universe. I'm already losing it even thinking about this. It looks mostly that he will join Arsenal. And that's the thing. When Sterling, right? When Chelsea signed Pedro Neto, and the news started to come out that Sterling is an outcast and he's training on his own, first thing that went to my mind was he's coming to Arsenal. Not maybe as a full transfer, but maybe as a loan. 1 month passed. Transfer deadline day. Sterling signs for Arsenal. I got that feeling that Arteta has this rescue factor that he needs to fix and rescue some failing talents, and it feels like Rashford could be the next one. Not to mention that Rashford is on about, 400 grand a week or something stupid like that. I don't know if Arsenal will pay that though. Just know January coming. If we see Rashford, just know it's only on Arteta. Arteta already has this double-edged sword that he either will win or die by, which is Kai Havertz. If he signs another one in Rashford, it could be the be-all end-all of everything. I'm not gonna lie. It could be be-all end-all of everything. I heard we are interested in signing Lookman too. Well, that is a 50-50 one. We have been linked with Lookman. We were linked with Lookman last summer as well to a certain extent. It's just rumors putting it out there. Let's be real. With January window coming up and media knowing that Arsenal need players and they need players in specific positions, they will put out articles that links Arsenal to certain players that we have been linked before last summer or summer before, just to kind of get the traction and everything, just to build up the hype. Because have you noticed that as soon as December pretty much started, all of a sudden their Arsenal are linked with center backs, attackers, wingers, just as we started to talk the most about the fact that we need a striker, left wing and everything, media started to put it out as well. It's not a coincidence, let's be real. Whether we like it or not, they listen to us as well. They are reading what we tweet, what we talk on videos and everything. They see this and they're putting it out because that gets clicks, that gets them paid at the end of the day. It is what it is. We will get linked with numerous players. We already linked with countless players. I'm not gonna lie, I think since mid-November we have been linked already with about 10 players. Not 10, about 20 players. Last summer transfer window, we were linked with 120 to 140 players overall. And we signed 2 of them. Like, there is no guarantees and no insurances in that regard. And if we sign Rashford, oh bloody hell, it's gonna be hell on earth, I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, Zubimendi is another one. We will be linked with Rashford during January. We're gonna be linked with Zubimendi to a certain extent. Lookman will be thrown there in their mix. Maybe Moleiro as well. Maybe also Nico Williams will again resurface, as we all know, and everything. Maybe Alex Baena, because he already has risen in the talks, some rumors as well. So we need to be prepared. We know that Arsenal are linked FC. We are linked with everyone. And that will be that will be hell, because doing transfer daily shows that I will do also in January, as I did in the summer, in between or combined with the previews, reviews, some game reactions and everything, it will get very hasty. It will get very rough over the time. We'll see what's going to happen. Will Arsenal sign anyone? Because, let's be real, Arteta before Everton game said, I never ever expect a busy January transfer window. Then he says we need to sign some attackers. And then he says in another interview that I never talk about players that are not at the club. At our club. So there might be something to it and there might not be something to it. But ultimately Arsenal are known for not having the biggest or loudest January transfer windows. We don't sign much players during that time. And in the current situation where we desperately need about 2-3 players to sign, it will get very ropey if at the end of the January transfer window we haven't signed proper players. I 100% can guarantee you that there will be part of Arsenal's fan base that at the moment are not Arteta out as of yet, but if we don't sign anyone in January like big to elevate the team and try to carry us over the line, if we don't act serious, they will become those people. Genuinely, I can guarantee you that. If January come and we make more transfers than we did last summer, then that is the case. Last summer we had 4 or 3 out of 10 window pretty much. 3 out of 10. I gave it 4 or 5 out of 10. And that was solely based on the fact that we actually sold some players. Because my expectation was we're gonna sell and then we're gonna sign replacements and everything. But we never did sign replacements. For me, the summer transfer window was basically, for selling players, 7 out of 10. Because we had some deadwood left, but we got rid of some. And for signing players, I gave it a 3 out of 10, which basically goes to 10, and 10 divided by 2 is 5. So it, on average was a 5. But if I kind of have to look at this objectively and look at things that at the end of the transfer window, we sold some players, we didn't replace them, we don't have enough depth, we have the smallest squad in the league and everything, that window is genuinely a 2 at best. Because we didn't address any issues we had, we got rid of certain players, and we signed more players that were not necessary to sign. We could have signed better players for less value, and we could have signed more quality players by adding about 5-10 million on top. But the last summer window basically went by premises of if we need to sell to sign. We couldn't have signed anyone if we didn't sell. Because we had to sell Emil Smith-Rowe to sign Calafiori, sell Edin Nketiah to sign, what's-its-face, Merino, and then we got in on loan Norberto Neto and Raheem Sterling. And that also only happened because we sold Darren Ramsdale. We loaned out Reece Nelson. We loaned out Fabio Vieira. Like, something is not clicking. The math ain't mathin'. And something is happening up there in hierarchy of Arsenal, that something is either they're preparing for something or it's about to break all down. One or the other. Who knows what though. But anyways, guys, I think on that note, we have addressed everything. We have talked about the Crystal Palace game. We talked about some rumors. We have talked about some situations surrounding Arsenal. Let me know in the chat or in the comments down below what you think. Take care, stay safe, enjoy the game tomorrow. Obviously, tomorrow evening there will be a live stream, of course, because if I'm not mistaken, Arsenal play the game at 5:30. So at the of course at 8 p.m. UK time there will be a live stream once again. And Vieira is cooking. Well, he's not cooking per se. He's just slowly hitting some sort of a form. Let's be real. Because he was injured. He went to loan to Porto. He was injured for some time. At the moment, he has played 8 games in Portuguese League. He has 1 goal, 2 assists. He has started more than half of those games, which is actually quite surprising to say the least. In Europa League, in 5 games, he has 1 goal. He's not cooking, but he is somewhat picking up form. That's how I would describe it. He's not on fire, but he's slowly picking up form. That's how I see it. Because, 500 minutes in 8 games, that's about what 60 minutes a game on average, a bit more. That's nothing. That's not cooking. That's just chilling and vibing in a way. But it is what it is, I guess, at the end of the day. But yeah, for today, that will be it. So take care, stay safe, like the stream, share it around, subscribe, leave your comments down below if you're watching this a playback. Of course, I'm responding to almost every single comment. See you all tomorrow after a game, and hopefully it will be a positive stream, not some Arsenal rant therapy or something like that.